So this is going to just be a follow-on video from the video that I did last night, which is information on the Akashic record property and house clearings. So I'm just going to cover a little bit more information tonight, a few more things that I just wanted to add on to that video last night, because it is really a lot involved, and it is quite deep what it actually goes into, and all the different things that there are that come up to be found and cleared. And things that I find in the properties and within the houses. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is about shops and business premises. So any type of shop or restaurant or hotel or a salon, any type of physical actual business premises can highly benefit from these Akashic record clearings, because when you have a shop in public, there is constant flow of people coming in and out of your premises, and they are bringing so much stuff in with them and dumping stuff and thinking stuff a lot. So there is a lot of stuff that gets dumped into the shop and into the business. And an example is, say, you have a shop and a customer comes in, and they're a very, very difficult customer, and just nothing you do can please them. They're just having a really bad day, they're really annoyed, they buy a product, something happens, they don't like the product, they have a bad interaction with you, and they're just leaving the shop not feeling satisfied and just in a really bad mood. They may think really negative thoughts about the shop for the next, say, day or two, and be really pissed off and really annoyed at you and at the business and the shop, and just think, God, I hate that shop, I hate that person, I hate those people that own it. Whatever they might be thinking, and projecting these negative thoughts at the shop. So what happens is these actually can hold within the energetic matrix of the shop, and as you could imagine, these things accumulate over a lot of time. So there's a lot of stuff hanging around from all your different customers and all the different interactions and people coming into the shop, dumping the stuff in the shop every day, all day, and leaving. And so what happens is, say that negative energy gets caught in the shop about that person thinking those certain things in the form of a thought form or a psychic attack or anything. And then a customer walks into the shop, and they just instantly get this feeling, and they just think, nah, this is crap, this shop's crap, I don't like this shop, I'm not going to go in there. And they're just not inclined to come in and feel comfortable and have a good energy and come in to your shop. So that's an example of how it can work with any physical business. It can be highly beneficial to do this clearing for any type of shop or business or restaurant, hotels, schools, salons, cafes, any type of building can have these clearings, and it can be just so much more beneficial for your business flow, like for your customers to come in, and want to do business with you. So that's another really interesting thing. It's not just for houses and properties. This clearing can be used for any type of physical building or business. All buildings hold so much energy, and so this is just relevant to all types of businesses and homes and properties. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is the negative energy reading. So in the very beginning of the reading that I do, when I locate the property and I go in, I do a negative energy reading at the very first start of the reading. And so this is a scale of 1 to 60, and this just gives me a really good idea of what is going on within the property, the home, the business, whatever it is. And the scale is 1 to 60, and obviously a low means there's not a lot of activity and not a lot of things going on that need to be cleared. And as it goes up on the scale, it means that there's just more stuff going on. So anything above 40 is pretty much uninhabitable for most people. It would be a lot going on, and it would be a really heavy, dense, very intense place to be in, or let alone live in. So that just gives me a good idea when opening up of what actually is going on, and that gives me a good idea to the energetic match and frequency of the property to the person. Because also there can be energetic misalignment between the property and within the person. So the person may just not be living in the right space that's energetically matched for them. So that's also another very interesting aspect that's part of this reading. And then another thing is psychic attack and arrows. So we've all heard the saying that I feel like I'm being psychically attacked, I feel like I've been stabbed in the back, etc., etc. These sayings have been around for a very, very long time. And so when you're being psychically attacked, and this just happens from people with their thoughts, people just think unconsciously all the time and just project their thoughts without even thinking, and can really, attack people just with their thoughts. And this is just really common, and this happens all the time. It's at least happened to us once throughout our lives. And so what happens is when you're being psychically attacked and there's arrows being sent at you, so the person can actually send arrows at you too, which come in, get stuck into your energy body. And what happens is when that's happening to you, also the psychic attack and arrows can be projected at your house and at your space. So it's not just like coming into you, it's coming into your house, it's coming into your space. And that's just also another really interesting thing to be aware of that you never really think about. It's not just like this stuff goes on to us, this stuff actually goes on to our physical space around us, our environment. Like, our environment carries and holds energies also. And then the next thing that I wanted to talk about was entities. So this is a big subject within itself, and I wasn't sure whether I wanted to even scratch the surface or delve into this, because the thought of this stuff can really freak people out. And so the one thing to remember is that it's only your perspective. It's only the way you look at things, whether it's negative or it's positive. And just remember, we live in a world of duality, so there can't be any dark without the light. So it's all light, dark, yin, yang, positive, negative. It's just the polarity that we live in. We live in a world of duality. And it really just is, fear comes from lack of understanding. And so within our today's culture, there is just a massive lack of understanding of these different concepts of the spirit world and of the unseen world. Because we have to realize that we don't just live in a world of what we see in front of us that's 3D. We live in the seen world, in our 3D world, and then we also simultaneously exist in an unseen world. There's an unseen world there, a spirit world, which resides in higher dimensions, which entities and spirits do reside in as well. Now, this concept has been around for a very, very long time. You can't doubt that you've gone through stages in your life where you haven't seen things or heard something that didn't appear to be there or appear to be real, or have some kind of really interesting, trippy experience throughout your whole life. That's just part of being a human, and this is what we live in. So entities reside in the unseen world. So they're not physically what we can see. It's like spirit. It's not what we can physically see and hear in this third dimensional reality. They're all around us. All this spirit and these energies reside all around us all the time. It's the unseen world. It's always flowing and ebbing, and it's a whole other world going on that we don't actually see. So with the entities, I'm able to locate different entities that are actually hanging around the property or around the house. So they move in and out and do their thing, cruising around. They hang around a property, and what they do is they hang around. They're very highly smart and intelligent, and they can watch people, and they basically can look for the right opportunity to attach, so the right attaching mechanism, or they can just hang around and have a quick feed, because they need to live on vital force energy. They need to feed off our energy to exist, because they don't actually have a physical form. So they hang around, they look for ways to attach, or they either have a feed and they move on. Because to be a physical, like to be a match for an attachment, it has to be a vibrational frequency and energetic match to that entity at the time. So we all emit like a certain frequency, and we all have got different frequencies and vibrations. It just depends of who we are, and our whole energy matrix is so intricate and complicated, and they have their own frequency as well that they emit. And they're basically like looking for the right frequency and match that will allow them to attach, and is going to serve them, and is going to basically match, just totally match them. That is, it's like compatibility. So they're looking for something that's going to be compatible to them. Is the best way that I can explain this energy. And they also let out these really interesting energies into the environment, and there's many different types, and they all emit different energies, and they all feed off different like energies and emotions, and create and feed off them, and also create them in environments. So the frequency of having one around could emit, like, they feed off anger, they love anger. So, you know, a couple might start fighting and they really feed off the anger, and that just like, yeah, that just like gets them in to be able to hang around, and there's a potential match and frequency for them that's being created through the people, through them being in the vicinity. They're very highly evolved, really, and they're very, very super smart. And so to be able to move them from the properties and to not have them hanging around. Now, children are very, very susceptible to these energies, because they're actually more likely able to actually see them, and to actually feel them and hear them, and to be affected by them and targeted by them also, because they're so more highly attuned than we are, because they haven't had the amount of programming that we've had. And yeah, they're more aware on certain levels, and more awake of spirit and of energy. So it can be really highly beneficial to have the property clearing, have these removed, and to not have to deal with any of these energies, and just to have a really calm, beautiful frequency throughout your whole living space, within your business spaces and your environment. It's just so beneficial, and it just, the spaces feel amazing when they've been cleared. So that's just a couple of other things that I wanted to go into, and thank you.